Hello everybody, welcome back to Tsui no Sora. Today we're beginning the Wakatsuki Kotomi chapter, and I'm actually quite interested for this chapter because obviously it's not like Tsubahibi where Tsukasa and Kagami, I mean, they're nice people, but yeah, they kind of don't exist. They don't exist, I mean, Kotomi actually exists, so it feels quite weird that we're probably going to get a chapter that is mainly from the point of view of a Wakatsuki. It just feels wrong just because of the fact that it's something related to Tsubahibi. These characters just always feel like the characters you should be in the dark about. And yet at the same time, we're probably going to get a chapter here that entirely explains their context, which is going to be quite nice. Well, maybe it won't explain their context, but maybe it will just explain how they perceive events in the last week, and maybe we're going to get more on Yasuko as well and why she's fucking insane at the end of the story. Yeah, it's going to be quite something. I do wonder how ambiguous this chapter is going to be, because surely the chapter with Yukito, the one who is the most philosophical, obviously Takuji's chapter as well is going to feature a lot of Ayana, but I do wonder if Kotomi's chapter will. I really do. I do remember there was this one time where Kotomi was saying, she was saying stuff about the sky, and she was saying stuff that was unusually philosophical for her, and maybe that could be Ayana's influence, but I don't know. I'm excited to see what this is. Let's see. How's it going to begin? All of these chapters have a very distinct beginning. What about, where's the month? 20th minus 8th, so the 12th. Oh, okay, so it says July the 12th on the top of my window. Jesus fucking Christ. You could have a little bit more consideration for my ears. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. That's music rather than a sound effect, I think. Dude, I have my earphones out and I can hear. I mean, it's a very high frequency sound, so it doesn't surprise me, but still. I'll listen to her voice dialogue after. Somebody's died. Oh, looks like the alarm clock's gone. She sounds very tired. Oh, I think she might actually be getting up, unlike a certain guy called Yukito. Oh, right. Oh god. So 7:30 is late for her, right? I mean, 6 is when I get up every day. And if it's not a school day, it's around 7 to 8. But I always get up really early as well. I know how she feels. But the only thing is I never have anything going on in the morning like that. God. Holy shit, she really is running. Oh, this is really unusual. So we have... Oh, this feels a lot slower, this piano loop. Interesting. I don't know how I like it. Jesus Christ, it took her an hour to rush to school. And obviously get ready as well. So, her school must be pretty far in terms of walking distance then. God, that must be very stressful. Or maybe she takes the train. I don't know. Just depends on where they live. But then again, I mean, I remember Yukito and Kotomi when they were walking out of the incident with her and Yasuko. When Yukito saved her, I mean, there was no indication that there was a train they needed to ride. Yeah, totally, yeah. It's a weekend as well, that's brutal. Yep, that's totally relatable. God, I wonder if she has a phone alarm clock or if she has a physical one. And, well, a mechanical one. I really do wonder if it was one of those cases where you sleep through your alarm somehow. Oh, no. This feels like a phone alarm. That's hilarious. God damn. Oh, it's Yasuko. God. It really feels weird to see this person actually sane again. Jesus Christ. That's a bit awkward. Yeah, so she is usually somebody that's really punctual. I suppose it's rare for her to be late, rare for anything not to go perfectly. Jesus Christ. She does have a good point, yeah. Oh yeah. That's a really good approach. Yeah. Yeah, no, I can totally see that. Yeah, it just means you need to study more to get good grades, really. You can still get good grades in a subject if you struggle in it. It just really depends on how much work you put in. Yeah, I don't blame him. I'm blaming her. Yeah, that's reasonable. I suppose she's very capable in Kendo, but that's just simply because of the fact that that's her starring role, really, and the field in which she is most talented in. So I suppose outside of her field, it must be quite hard. But then again, I mean, she still can develop talents. It doesn't necessarily have to be the case that she's just talented in Kendo. Yeah, she's clearly developing these talents because of the fact that she's studying. I'm sure she can get where she wants to be. But to be fair, she shouldn't be studying until late at night. I mean, God, you've got to have some sort of free time. You can't burn yourself out. But, yeah, I don't know. Oh, God. Oh God, I feel really bad for her. I mean, she has a work ethic as well. That's just the worst thing. I mean, she just genuinely finds the content really hard. So even though she has a work ethic, she must find it really quite hard to, get her grades above average. Ironically, I remember Tsukasa saying, Tsukasa out of all people, Hasaki probably referring to, but yeah. Tsukasa saying that she gets reasonably average grades, and I just find it funny that it's kind of similar with Kotomi. So I suppose she's at the C level, maybe? I wonder if Yasuko's really academic then. Oh, I feel bad, yeah. That must suck. They must be very brutal subjects in Japan as well. I like that. It just depends on which equation, to be honest. I mean, some are overwhelming, but then I hate equations that really have loads of symbols and you can't decipher the equation without knowledge of the symbols. I mean, it does make sense that you need knowledge of said symbols, but it's just annoying when it's not the case. And I like equations that are easy to rearrange. Even, I swear that there's some sort of magnetism equation that's really weird in physics that it looks really hard to rearrange first, but when you actually do it and it's easy. I mean, but I think when you get into logarithms and ln and e and I don't know, just weird stuff like, for example, trig identities, I think rearranging them is really weird. And God, trig identities, they're horrible. But yeah. Yep. Wow, that's really cool. Yep. To be honest, I think calculus is one of the easier things that we do in our course, at least. I think the hardest things are, well, coordinate geometry and circular equation. I fucking hate those. And I think that's actually the hardest part of AS Maths if you do that course. Because that's the course I do. That's actually really cool though. I didn't realise that. Who actually invented calculus? And which part of calculus did they invent? Oh, right, okay. Nucleus. I was about to say that. Newton and Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz. Right. Interesting. How do you invent stuff like integration though? Must be very, very complex. Yep. I mean, I think if you just have pure maths and you have, if it's not applied to anything and you have to, I don't know, differentiate something from first principles, or you have to integrate or differentiate, find second derivative, prove whether it's a stationary point or not. I mean, stuff like that, I think it's easy. But when you apply calculus to stuff, and when you obviously get more high level, which we haven't, we've just done the basics, I'm sure it gets very difficult. Oh, he's really good at maths, yeah. Oh god, here we go. I like that. I don't necessarily think he would, but maybe he could use some of his math in philosophy? I don't know though. I feel like that's a bit unreasonable. Also, can I just say that, I mean, I can't stand applied maths. I really can't. God damn. Oh, I feel really bad for Kotomi. I mean, she's quite literally got the best resource to use for studying, i.e. Yukito, and yet at the same time she still doesn't get it. Yeah. So that's for her, god damn. Oh, damn. Right. Somebody got changed. Jesus Christ, that was not what I was expecting. I mean, it makes sense, but yeah. I like that, yeah. Yeah, fair enough. He's probably good at what he does. He really is. No, I disagree. Maybe he could genuinely. We don't know. Yeah, she has a good point though, yeah. But then again, I mean, Why couldn't you just use paper to do it? I don't necessarily understand why you need to have a blackboard. I can see that. Oh my god, he's going to become a university professor in maths, let's be honest here. Fair. Why weird? It's hilarious. I mean, she basically has, I mean, this is the closest to free tuition she's going to get. I mean, she is so lucky. And being able to do that outside of school as well, that must really help her. But the only thing is I feel so bad for her, because even though she has something like this, she still doesn't understand it. Seriously, yeah. The thing is about Yukito, he's just somebody who's really genuine. He's such a genuine person, and he's very kind. It doesn't surprise me that somebody like him would do all of this for Kotomi. Yeah, totally. Yeah, fair. Yeah, that's interesting. I do wonder how he developed his martial arts related ability, or just in general combat related ability. And his strength. Yeah, totally. Yeah. That must have hurt so much. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, that's interesting. That's actually really quite interesting that this is said. God, that must be really rough. And I suppose the thing is about being good at sport, you have such a reputation to hold, and you have to make it so that every single game has such a high standard. I mean, you've really got to be cut out for life like this, because it will destroy you if you're not cut out for it. Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing about reputation. You do one thing and then people... Yeah, you do one thing and then people base their entire impressions of you on that one incident. Yeah. I just find it really interesting that his shoulder could have potentially been broken just as a result of the pressure. But then again, I feel like it could either be because of the fact that the pressure has made it so that he's kind of forgotten about his safety and has prioritised his performance more, or maybe it could just genuinely be because of the fact that he hasn't forgot about his safety. He's just so stressed that, I suppose, something that normally he would have been able to dodge, he hasn't. And maybe that's why... Yeah, God, that's properly rough. It really is. It's a proper reputation you have to maintain and things like these. Yeah, no, I can see that, yeah. It must be, yeah, totally agree. Oh. Now the screen's going to the left. Totally agree, yeah. It's fucking annoying because labels, like Yukito said, if anything, contagiousness of emotions, they really do exist in society. And I really like the idea of him saying that human beings have just... It's as if they have evolved to cast aside the people that they don't feel are fully correct and the people they don't feel are fully ideal. And just to, well, I suppose, treat them as if they don't even exist, and to... I suppose, if anything, what they do is they... If anything, ironically, some people, they strengthen their bonds over the... Well, I don't know, over either the bullying or just in general the trash talking of another person. I've seen that happen a lot. Yeah, I don't like that whatsoever at all, yeah. And it's horrible experiencing that. I mean, who hasn't experienced that, let's be honest here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I just really find it sweet that Yukito and Kotomi, they have it in common that they have very high skills in a certain field, and they will teach anybody who is willing to learn those said skills, and they will better people's lives as a result of it. It's because of both, to be honest. Yeah, she's just totally being as kind as possible. I like that. I think Yukito definitely has a thing for Kotomi. The only thing is he doesn't realise it himself. It's just he has so much of an attachment. Oh, he has so much of an attachment to Kotomi. It's not necessarily a romantic one. Yeah, totally. Oh yeah, that's nice. The fuck is... Kimika, oh my god. Why does Kimika look like her eyes? I don't know, her eyes are firstly purple coloured, and secondly, it looks like stars are in her eyes, quite literally. That's really surprising, so Kimika is not a main character. Wow, that was not what I was expecting whatsoever. And Kimika is in their club as well, which is quite interesting. I mean, I suppose Kimika was in the running club, because obviously she was physically weak and she really wanted just to try and get her physical strength up as much as possible. And I feel kind of bad for Kimika in a way in Tsubahibi, because she kind of reminds me of Kotomi. I mean, she tries so hard for something that just feels like the only reason that it's out of her ability range is just simply because of herself as a person. It's just not fair. Yeah, sometimes hard work pays off, but other times it really doesn't. Kimika.
あんまり話ばかりしてると練習時間なくなっちゃうぞ。たく、あんたには学校中が期待してるんだからね。
Somebody sounds a bit jealous.
やすこちゃんもあんまりことみを甘やかさないように。
Jesus Christ, these people aren't
すぐに
robots.
無駄話するんだから。
God. To be fair though, they should be beginning practice, but still, oh my god, Kimika sounds so annoyed. Oh. Oh, I see, yeah, everything's done. Oh god, that's awful. Oh. Oh god. Don't become paranoid. I bet you anything it's going to be Yasuko. Oh god. Thanks, YouTube. Oh my god, you can't make this shit up. I just open my browser and then that's what I get. If you know where it's from, you know where it's from. That's so funny. That was a genuine mistake as well. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to see what Kendo protective gear looks like. See if we can get any indications. Oh god, wow. God, look at this. I can totally see what Kotomi means. I mean, I don't necessarily know how much this stuff weighs, but at the same time, God, these people look like proper knights. That's really weird. Oh, so it's Japanese fencing, right? That's so cool. God damn. Yeah, I can imagine this stuff firstly being heavy, but secondly, I don't know, just stuff like this, for example. If it gets mixed up with things, it could be a bit complex to get out. I can imagine that being quite annoying. I do see that though, you've got to be careful. And to be fair, I mean, it's your club, it's your life, let's be honest here. You not only want to be respectful because of the fact that it's something that just in general improves your life, gives your life meaning, and gives you a purpose, and gives you something that you are really good at as well, but also just because you're a nice person and you want to have respect to the club. I think it's really nice that she's tidying up after the club, but then again, I feel like she's probably one of the best people there, so it's probably her duty to do so. I don't know though. Yeah, what I was saying in the beginning of the video about Ayana being here. Oh my god, what? I'm really surprised she talks to anybody that isn't Yukito. Wow. Because obviously she talks to Takuji. Sorry, I meant to say Yukito and Takuji. I am actually surprised. Then again, I mean, in Tsubahibi, I suppose she talks to Zakuro as well. Yeah, seriously. My god. Kotomi's really kind, I like that. Wow. Is this Ayana just trying to fit into human society as much as possible? But then again, I mean, she is a being that is all-knowing and experienced. I mean, Ayana's flow of time compared to a human being's flow of time, it must be very, very different. It's it's just interesting that she knows so much about the human heart, and then at the same time she doesn't even know a basic fact, i.e. the day of the week. It's just interesting that, because she knows so much about human nature, and yet she doesn't necessarily know much about what humans have. Oh, actually... yeah, it definitely could be. I see that. Fair enough. Yeah. By human beings, yeah. I just find it so funny to think about the fact that Ayana is saying such odd philosophy that would make anybody question, not only... well, that would be thought-provoking to anybody, to just a random stranger that she approaches. I mean, well, let's be honest, Ayana probably knows who Kotomi is, and she probably knows the implications of doing something like this, but still, I mean, it just feels so unusual. Yeah, no. Oh my god, is she making it seem just so that we base the fact that we base the units of time that is a week on the fact that, well, I don't know, I suppose Kotomi is thinking that it could be the fact that God made the world in a week, and it's hilarious to think that, because if you were asked to explain the origin of why we base our time on said story, well, we base the days of the week on a said story, can you do so? No. Yeah, totally. What if they were made just a moment ago? Yeah. But the only thing is, that's a horrible thing. I mean, something like that could just be included in Ayana's argument. They're inside somebody's head. Oh, is that the answer she wants people to get into? Yeah. Yeah, but then again, I mean, I suppose if the records, I kind of misinterpreted that, but I mean, obviously memories could be in somebody's brain, and I suppose memories of the fact that has been seen, but the only thing is that's a memory of the fact that, well, it's a memory of seeing something that could have been created a moment ago, and that memory also could have been created a moment ago. Well, in the cerebrum, surely? I don't really know much about the brain. I swear the cerebrum is the part that it's responsible for not only... No, I don't know if it's a responsible part for learning, but it's definitely the responsible part for language and just retention and storing facts in general, really.
そこに世界創造が一瞬で作られたことを否定する証拠が入っているの。およそ 1200cc 程度の脂質と
This is hilarious.
構成されているようだけど。
God damn. Yeah. This is why you should never get into philosophical debates with Ayana, seriously. But it's, and this is the worst thing, it's actually logically true. Why does she know a fact like this? Look, genuinely, I wonder why.
私の頭の中にはそこまで大層なものは入ってないよ。でも世の中にはすごく頭がいい人とかがいて、世界が何億年前からあることを証明してくれたりするんだよ。
No, but the only thing is what Ayana is trying to say, I think, is that the fact that how can memories necessarily prove anything? I mean, realistically, memories are just... That's so weird. I mean, it's just basically reducing human beings to meat. And, obviously, chemicals as well. And how can said meat and chemicals prove that the world is the case? Well, that the world hasn't just been created in a few days. It's a weird belief, it really is. It's a bit nonsensical, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to argue against. Yeah, no, I see that.
いや、そうじゃなくて。
Yeah, no, totally.
困ったな。そういう難しい話
What
は
was she's gonna
私じゃ
say?
よくわからないんだよ。難しいお話だったの？その難しい規則性に従って琴美さんは行動しているの？
You can't guess out of this.
いや、なんだろう。世界って多分すごく難しいことがたくさんなんだけど、私じゃそんなこと考えてもわからないから、日常として普通に生きてるだけだよ。
And I mean, then again, I feel like Kotomi's approach is really helpful because Ayana, I feel like she obviously has a disadvantage because she is somebody that is totally unknown and she can't really live a normal existence that a human being could live. But even if the world was created in a few seconds ago, and even if, I don't know, for example, you could think of any ridiculous philosophy belief, well, not ridiculous, but belief that I would find ridiculous, like, for example, monoism or, don't know, solipsism as well. I mean, you could believe those things, or you could just disregard them, and you could just not question the world and live in the world as it is, really. I mean, that's probably what I'd do, because I just feel like questioning the world like Ayana does, I mean, it's obviously interesting and it does provide food for thought, but entirely basing your life on it and basing your identity on it, and obviously, well, then again, I just feel like it's something that could be very unhealthy if you're not careful with it. Because I feel like if you... Oh, I don't know. It can either be really unhealthy or it can be really interesting. It just depends on the person, I think. But I just feel like with me, if I was properly into this stuff like Ayana is, it would just be more unhealthy than interesting, so I would never do it. But I can kind of see why people would do this, though. I mean, it's very interesting topics, but at the same time, I don't blame Kotomi for just wanting to live her everyday life like normal and not really question what she's living. I suppose rather than questioning what she's living, she's just trying to question what she can do as a result of whatever has caused her to be able to live. I.e., what she's going to do in her life. Yeah, this is really unusual, and it's interesting that memories are recorded in our brains, but let's be honest, it's just the weirdest thing. I mean, it's just really a really odd philosophical. It's just a really odd topic in general about human beings. Just the difference between biology and chemical functions, and obviously electrical transmission of neurotransmitters, and also emotions. Because the weird thing is, I mean, emotions are kind of caused by what I just said. Or transmission of, I don't know, chemicals, I'd assume hormones as well, and neurotransmitters. And it's kind of like the case why somebody's emotions are really affected by if they have brain damage. I mean, it's just so weird to think about the fact that people's ability to not only put stuff into words, but actually feel stuff is completely dependent on the brain. And the brain's processes happening. I just really do wonder where the true essence of personality is. And just how it exists. Really, it's odd. It really is unusual. Yeah, but then again, I mean, this is the hilarious belief, the fact that all of these memories could be planted into somebody's head. And it's funny to think about the fact that the brain is just consists of meat as well. And obviously lipids, acids, and yeah. Yeah, but then again, I mean, I suppose if you don't look at the link between the brain and human emotions... Oh, no, I mean... So ultimately, this doesn't prove anything. It's so weird. Yeah, no, totally reasonable. Yeah. Oh god, July the 12th. This is the turning point, by the way. Yeah, I don't blame her. Because the thing is, if I'm going to be honest, I feel like you're better. It varies for person to person, but me personally, I'm way better off just focusing on what I have to do in the day rather than the essence of the day and why today is a certain day. I mean, I will think about stuff like that, but I won't necessarily entirely base... Well, I suppose I won't really acknowledge it. Unless I'm in a period of time where I want to think about something like this. A good example is when I read, I suppose. God, that's a very odd question. God, look at her. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, I see this, and now it's the uniformity principle, but I do see that. Everything's uniform, so why do we have to think about the world we live in? And I suppose it's as if the world is designed just so that we don't think about these things as much as we can, really, because I suppose it's something that's normal, it's something that operates within reason. It doesn't have much value of being contemplated. For the average person.
分それで OK なんじゃないかな。
I feel really bad for Kotomi. She's being as kind as she possibly can, but yeah, Ayana is just, she really isn't stopping. I wonder how many other people she's talked
あ
to.
りがとう琴美さん。
That's unusual. Yeah, no, that's a good point, yeah. So I really do wonder if you're suffering with a really bad mental illness and you, I don't know, what's a good example? Just some sort of mental illness that would make it so that the memories you have are memories that you feel like are somebody else's, and memories that you don't necessarily feel like are your own. I really do wonder how people like them would have an interpretation on questions like these, because their viewpoint would naturally have to be very different. Yeah, and I really do wonder. Because I suppose if we're thinking about the fact that our memories prove that, I suppose the world was, well, we're thinking that our memories would prove that we have been living in the world for the entirety of the time, so that the world couldn't have been created just a few seconds ago. But if you have somebody who feels as if memories that they have are somebody else's memories and ones they didn't truly experience, I just wonder how you could tie that. It's unusual. But then again, no, I mean, I suppose they still have the memories, even though they feel like other people's memories. So maybe you could say that that kind of still proves it? That's interesting.
音無彩菜さんってちゃんと1年の時から一緒にいたよね。入学式で見た記憶があるし。
That's actually really interesting that Ayana hasn't just appeared.
全く表情がないけど、いえ、ないからこそまるで人形のような美しさだと思った記憶があるし。
Hang on, I'm just going to... Just gonna turn my brightness down a bit. There we go. That's much better. Yeah, then again, I mean, I suppose you feel like you realised it, but I mean that is a good point. I suppose you have a memory and then you've forgotten it's happened, so you think you've realised. Sorry, hang on a second. I was just interrupted. Anyway, I mean, so you realise it a second ago because you think you're thinking it for the first time, because you've not really had any recent recollection of thinking said thing. But then when you dive into your memories, you realise that you have said it before. But that's actually really weird, because I suppose, I mean, then again, I mean, it does make sense with human logic though, I suppose, because you think something and then when you revisit that information, you then have a chance to recall what you've been... Well, no, you think something and then it's locked away in your memory, and then when you revisit said information, you can recall it. But if you don't revisit the information after a long time, when you rediscover something, it will be as if you were first discovering it, even though you objectively have discovered it before. I mean, I suppose it's kind of saying that I do really wonder if this is going to be used in order to link just how false memories are and how they could be something that's all created in the past. Oh, that's unusual. She understands? I find it very, really interesting to think about the fact that even in the opening ceremony, Ayana had no expression whatsoever. It just really makes you question what Ayana's true purpose in this world is. Because let's be honest, I mean, all Ayana really does is... Well, if anything, it's actually really hard to tell just what her motive is. I've never really... If I'm going to be honest, I've never contemplated that before. Oh my god. Isn't that interesting? That's really interesting. So, Kotomi doesn't fully understand the philosophy, and I suppose when she thinks about what Ayana's saying, if anything, it's not like Yukito, where he's really, really interested in contemplating the philosophy, and he's interested, he enjoys it, and it just broadens his perspective of the world. I think, like Ayana says, she feels discomfort, and she feels like, you know, what is this feeling? Just unknown feelings that, and maybe it could be more unhealthy for her to contemplate it. I don't know though. I don't get why she'd care. That's weird. Yeah. Oh. I find it very unusual to think about why Ayana is so insistent on thanking people. That's never something I would have thought Ayana would do. Probably unusual, yeah. Oh my god, totally. Yeah. Is Ayana even a person though? That's my question. Oh, so now we're in Yasuko and Kotomi's scenes again, and as we can see, another example of the bond between Yasuko and Kotomi developing. They're friends, I mean, I don't blame them for wanting to increase their bond, really. Of course they would. find it so odd that this kind of is, if you ask me, sort of a little way of assessing people and whether they are alright to talk to and whether they will understand what Ayana's saying. I just don't really get why she does it though. What does she gain from it? What does she gain from conversations like this? Conversations at which people, well, the person who is listening to the conversation can't possibly understand what she is trying to say. So why does she do it? Yeah, isn't that really interesting? Because I suppose discomfort about the fact that the world is how you perceive it and there is nothing more to the world than that, I suppose learning something like that will just worsen the discomfort about the world that she lives in. Because I suppose if you learn, maybe, I don't know if Ayana knows the truth about how reality was created, but I mean, she feels like a being that knows everything, so maybe she does, but yeah, I suppose it's just interesting that she has this level of consideration. Yeah, you'll find a plausible answer. That's interesting. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, just in general, anything really. You can't. I like that. If you're looking at school exam questions, for example, you can't just look up a mark scheme. You've got to come to the answer yourself, because if you don't, you won't benefit and you won't learn anything from it. I suppose it's kind of different in this sense. You've just got to come up with the answer yourself, because if you don't, and it's forced on you, and it's not a truth you discover with your own reasoning, it could possibly really distort and maybe even destroy your faith in reality and the world that is near you. Near you? Sorry. Oh, the world that engulfs you, if you like. You are all around the world. Yeah, that's interesting. It's important to know to compromise. Yeah, I like that. So I suppose talking to Ayana would not be compromising whatsoever. That's actually really interesting, because I suppose this is objectively a correct rule, but at the same time Ayana is saying that there is no need to come to school as the only correct rule. So it's kind of as if accepting reality is like looking at one rule that seems fit, and then a truth that could possibly be realistic if logically thought about, that contradicts it, is just totally ignored, and that is not part of the rule. To be fair, you will never see a person like Ayana again. I mean, look at the conversation with Ayana and Yukito, for example. I mean, who makes jokes? Let's be honest. When there was the Kant author that Yukito was reading about, and obviously Ayana, when asked about what happiness was, gave such an in-depth answer just because of the fact that something like that can't even be put into words. And I suppose we were talking about feeling then. But, yeah, that. I suppose it was just. Yeah, it's just not really something people should normally say when first greeting somebody. Anyway, this is going to be quite exciting to see what happens with Kotomi and Yasuko. I wonder what they're doing. Do they have club more than once a day? Or what? Oh wait, then again, I mean, maybe she's just come back from the gym, obviously back from getting all of the protective gear from Kendo just sorted, and then she's going back to the changing room and then seeing Yasuko, maybe? Is it because she has lessons, or what? Is she not relaxed enough, or? Yeah, no, I can kind of see that. Yasuko just always feels like the person that has been saved and the person that will infinitely be grateful to Kotomi. I do wonder if you could say that she... No, I don't think you could say that, but she's very, very admirable of her. And it just kind of gives... I just kind of get the impression that with this relationship, Yasuko always feels like she's the one who's inferior to Kotomi. And Kotomi's... But obviously it's not the case that that causes conflict or it causes, I don't know, inferiority complexes or anything like that. But I suppose it's just the case that she feels like she's the lower one and Kotomi feels like... And she feels like Kotomi's the one who's above, and I suppose as a result of that she just feels like she constantly needs to praise Kotomi just because of how amazing she is compared to her. I have seen some people like this, so I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, fair enough.
Yasuko ちゃんは礼儀正しいし、TPO をすごくわきまえられるし。
Yeah, fair enough.
どうでしょうね。例えばですよ。例えば？こうやってもみもみ。やはりすげえ胸ですね。
Hang on a second, so you're telling me this is casual Yasuko? Right. Yeah, there is a time and a place. Yeah, so I think that she is definitely right when she says she's not very sure about the fact that she knows what a time and a place is. Oh god. What? She sounds like a cat. Oh my god, that's hilarious. She did kind of deserve it, to be fair. Wait, what? Right. Seriously, yeah. I mean, if this is Yasuko acting casual, I don't know whether it's good for her to act casual or not. It shouldn't. Well, actually, I shouldn't. I don't know, but that just sounds really weird. That doesn't sound like something that should be normal, but yeah. Yeah, seriously, is it? What? Why? Yeah, fair enough. What the fuck? What are you doing? Yeah, seriously. Suspicious finger movement. What a weird phrase. Yeah. I can definitely see why Kotomi is saying this. This is just a bit awkward now. I mean, I get that they want to be more casual, and Kotomi obviously doesn't want Yasuko to be as... Well, she doesn't want Yasuko to feel as if she has to put a serious front on, but this is just crossed the line, I think. Yeah, seriously, I don't know if she'd be able to act proper after something like this either. Yeah, you always know the appropriate time and place for everything. No, then again, I mean, with Yasuko here, she does know the time and place for this situation because she knows that this is the worst situation that could possibly happen and probably the most unsuitable thing to do in this time frame, and yet she still does it. So, I mean, even though it is a bit of an idiot's move, it's still something that's known. I hope you get what I mean. But this is not knowing when to do something at the right time and place for the right reasons. This is knowing when not to do something and actually knowing it as well. So they are actually, well, they actually have violent play together? Or she sometimes does that to Yukito? That really surprises me. But then again, maybe that was just something that she'd mentioned. Or maybe that could be a joke. I don't know. This is so weird. Yeah, do, please. Oh. God damn. That's wild. That is fair though. Interesting. Oh god, I really do wonder what Kotomi is like at club. But then again, I mean, I suppose this is the time where she's got to prove herself the most. And I suppose Kendo, it really is surprising that people as soft and as soft, light-hearted, and just in general relaxed do sports that have such an element of brutality and fighting to them. It really is just the contradiction of the century. But, yeah, I can see why she'd change. Yeah, I can see that. I suppose she's just trying to have to adapt to the fact that Kotomi has changed back to the person that she knows, and I suppose it's just interesting that the faces and, well, yeah, the faces these people put on for said activities are very different. I like that. I can never imagine somebody like her being intimidating. Maybe if she got really, really cross. Oh, that's cool.
くなるのか、いいんじゃないですか？真剣に剣道やっているのなら。
Yeah, totally. I totally agree, yeah.
どうだろう。やすこちゃんはまだ話しかけてくれる後輩だからいいけど、今年入った1年生とか怖がってる。
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious if some of the first years talked to Kotomi and then they realise that probably one of the most scary people with the most ferocious looks in, well, I don't know, in the gym was in reality one of the most kind and soft and light-hearted people. I mean, it's such a contradiction, it really is. I was just doing a little bit of a pause to see if I could find any clips from a film called All About Lily Chocho or Riri Shushu no Subete as well. I was just trying to see if I could find any moments of where they do kendo, because I swear, I think there are scenes where the gym in the school, they do kendo. And I just wanted to see how, well, I suppose how traditional it seemed and how, if anything, scary and fear-inducing it would be, but I couldn't really find any clips on YouTube, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, I think there are a few kendo scenes in All About Lily Chocho if you want to. And aside from the fact that kendo is included, it's a very good film. I really recommend it. It's good if you like things like Lane or I suppose Tsubahibi in a way. I won't spoil much, but it's one of the most slow and yet atmospheric films I have seen. It just feels like a film where you were properly taken into another world just because of how, well, how slow it is, really. And not only that, but I suppose the role music plays in it and the role the scenery plays in it, and just in general the story, it's very ambiguous and there's a million things happening at once. I mean, I feel like that's just one of the films where you need to rewatch it in order to understand what the hell's going on, but when you do, it's really nice. I'd recommend it, honestly. It's a really good film. And it has very good soundtrack as well. Especially, well, just all of the vocal soundtracks, but oh, the vocal soundtracks are so good. Yeah, just watch it, please. If you don't want to watch it, watch my mix on YouTube of the soundtracks. Like, please, you'll love it. They probably would be. Yeah. It must be such a contrast. I mean, I would have expected people who are participating in the nationals to be very scary, especially if they can put on such an intense character that probably has lots of ferocity. It's just surprising how these people even have it in them, to be honest. It's interesting. Their personalities, they really do have extremes. Totally though, yeah. What? What? Hang on a second, you just said this, so because she's fucking weird, she will, but yeah. Jesus Christ, you are so creepy. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, fair enough. What?
家に泊まらない速さなのですね、先輩は。そういうのはいいから。
Seriously, I think it's just better if they have a bit of distance, if this is what happens when they don't.
まあ、かようのように距離感は大事という話ですね。
Yeah, you've proved it. You really have proved it. Yeah, I think I do too. That's so funny. Just a bit illegal. I can see that. I mean, if some people were a little intimidated, they will know not to mess with you, and they will know not to give you any harassment, any bullying. I can totally see what she's saying. Ironic. I just find it really interesting because there's lots of people who are really sycophantic, but they're never honest about it with the person. No, actually, I think there's a difference between being sycophantic to somebody and genuinely talking about how impressive you think this person is. I think Yasuko is definitely somebody who is very, very impressed by everything that Kotomi has the potential to do, but at the same time, she's not sycophantic because I just feel like if she was sycophantic, she would be more obsessed than somebody who wants to get to know her. And she'd be obsessed with her talent and not really with the person behind that talent, which I think she is. Yeah, this is just a bit weird, to be honest, I mean. I just think it's hilarious that these people, they try to have a serious conversation. Obviously, there's a little bit of distance between them because obviously Yasuko's not being her casual self. And then Yasuko's casual self is present just because of the fact that she doesn't like the fact that she is difficult to approach. And then she regrets making it so that they go back to the casual approach. Yeah, I like that. And it definitely reminds me of Yasuko as well. And it's interesting that Yasuko feels like somebody that is very sycophantic, and I suppose that is the case why she's very vulnerable to Takuji, I suppose, because she has that level of admiration that she'll probably feel for Takuji just because of him being the one that has made her found the truth of herself, really, and the truth of reality, and the one who has saved her. I can see why she'd be vulnerable because of this approach. Yeah, totally. Yeah, but then again, I mean, she is amazing. She's amazing for her talent, but at the same time, talent doesn't truly define a person. I mean, sure, you might be very talented at something, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you should be entirely well, every conversation should be based on your talent and admiration from that talent. And I can see how being talented at something, it must be very tricky. Especially if you're famous. I would fucking hate to be famous. I mean, let's be honest, who wouldn't?
そんな素晴らしい先輩の乳首とか気軽に転がすかな。
Right. I mean, to be fair, that is a good point.
軽く接してと言われましたので、指で軽く接してみた感じです。それに素晴らしい先輩の乳首とか一度は触ってみたいじゃないですか。
I just really wonder how voice actors say stuff like this seriously.
軽く接するって指じゃないんだけどな。
Fair.
指以外で胸に接するのですか？
Jesus fucking Christ.
そちらでは接することが不可能なのですよね。
How horny is this person? Oh my god, I just want to get this on a quote.
何の話してやがるんだよ、やすこちゃん。
Well, sex.
お疲れ。
Oh my god, it's Kimika.
なんでこんなところに立ってるの？
Oh god, Kimika being Kimika in this story, it seems. Just constantly asking, why are you standing around? Ironically, Kimika in Tsui no Sora feels totally opposite to how she is in Tsubahibi. Thanks for the help. Why are you just standing around?
いや、今年の大会もすぐだなって。お疲れ。なんでこんなところに立ってるの？
She does. It sounds like they have a very hostile relationship. Maybe Kimika's jealous of the talent that Kotomi has.
これで終わりだもんね。
Oh, I don't know.
そうだね。やっぱり。Kotomiは
No, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. I totally misinterpreted that. Nah, they're friends. That's nice. I'm happy. Kimika is surprisingly normal. Oh, Kimika is fucking cool in Tsubahibi, but obviously very, very messed up, if I'm going to be honest. She's still really cool. And she is a very nice person, I think. Oh, she's a brilliant person.
今日は少しだけ調子が良かったからね。
Oh, damn. Oh, she probably got a lot of sleep. Even though, I mean, I suppose she overslept. Bit of an advantage, even though she may have missed practice. It's a double-edged sword. She could have either missed practice or got more sleep. Well, no, sorry. She got more sleep at the cost of the risk of missing more practice and getting there late.
1年の時は私の方が強かったんだけどな。
Oh my god, look at her face. Her eyebrows have a tint of red in. That's really weird.
そりゃキミカは子供の時からやってるのでしょ？
God damn, that's it. I can see why people like Yasuko have admiration for Kotomi's talent. I mean, she's been doing it since she was a kid, and yet Kotomi was worse than Kimika in year 1. And she's been able to ascend the ranks this much in the next 2 years. That's really cool.
なんだ？だから才能あるやつに数年で抜かされてもおかしくないって言いたいのかしら？
Oh, she's jealous. Yeah, totally. This is tricky. Yeah. Situations like these are ugly. They really are, because these people, they both really care about what they're doing. It's just obviously Kimika has been able to succeed at less of a rate than Kotomi has, just because it comes more naturally to Kotomi.
何言ってるんだか。まだまだキミカの方がうまいよ。形とかすごく綺麗だし。
God, she's so kind. How could you hate somebody like this? Yeah, no. She knows when to score the right, well, when to tick the right boxes. She really does.
まあ実際琴美は型はまだしも学科で商談審査落ちるような子だからね。普通は筆記試験で落ちる子いないよ。
Jesus Christ. Yeah, she's an asshole.
綿棒くんない。
そんなこと言っても琴美のおかげで全国の
This is a very confusing
感
relationship.
謝しかないけど、私だけだったら絶対無理だったし。
She's jealous, let's be honest, but she's thankful as well. I've never really seen something like this. I mean, this is total jealousy, and the fuck was the point of something like this? I mean, you don't need to say something like this. Don't make her feel bad for something that you're better at than her. But, I mean, obviously, it's the case that Kotomi doesn't get upset by those things. She's probably used to it, to be honest. I do wonder what Sodan exams are. I'm just quite surprised that you have to take an exam in order to graduate a rank. There must be so much theory that you have to learn. It's quite cool. I never really knew there were martial arts that were like that.
Arigato. そう言ってもらえると嬉しい。
んで、いつまでもこんな場所で油売ってていいの？
あ、本当だ。そろそろ帰るよ。
Oh my god, I remember I was saying maybe they should get going to lessons. I completely forgot that it was a Sunday. God.
確かマーカーを置きっぱなしにしてたんだよね。
Oh my god, yeah, I remember there was going to be something regarding Zakuro here. That's going to be exciting. It's Zakuro!
誰かな。こんにちは、若月さん。
Yeah. Zakuro looks so weird here. Oh my god. I don't know what it is. She just looks so oddly wide. Her sprite just looks wrong. Is it the way she's standing? I don't know. It's just really weird. Good afternoon, Wakatsuki. Two weird girls on one day. Well, then again, I mean, I don't know if Zakudo's weird here. I can't actually fairly say that. I literally know nothing about this Zakudo. Afternoon, Wakatsuki.
高島さん、日曜日にどうしたの？学校に用事があったのかな？
Yeah, God, this is going to tell us a lot about the nature of her suicide. Maybe it's going to be similar to, to ironically her conversation with... Well, hang on a second, let me just fully revisit Looking Glass Insects. In a second, I just want to... Right, so let's go Subahibi playthrough. Just one thing I want to check. Yeah, she talks to Ayana. Yeah. So I really wonder how she is going to talk to us, because obviously this is the day of her suicide.
はい、用事がありました。
そうなんだ。まあ私たちは一応受験生だし、いろいろあるよね。
Yeah, but she's going to commit suicide on that day. I mean, I think it's something different.
受験はあまり関係ありませんね。それよりも私は若月さんに会おうと思ってここで待っておりました。
Interesting.
私に用事？
はい。ただお礼が言いたくて。お礼ってなんでかな。若月さんはいつも私に優しくしてくれたじゃないですか。
Oh my god, that's horrible. That really took a turn I was not expecting. This is properly weird, because I mean...
優しく？ってそんなことないよ。私は当たり前のこと。
She is though, yeah, and that's the proper thought of a kind person there.
いいえ、そんなことありません。
Agreed, yeah, she is properly kind.
特別でした。
She is the type of person that nobody would not like. And the type of person that is so kind that she can properly influence an outcast like Yukito. And somebody who isn't interested in society whatsoever. And anybody. Well, she can make it so that Yukito is interested in her, if you like. Just because of the extent of how kind she is.
どうしたのかな。高島さん、なんかあったの？
本当に今まで。
Yeah, she doesn't mention that.
そんなかしこまって頭を下げられても困るよ。今後も今まで通りに仲良しでいいじゃない。
いいえ、いつまでも若月さんの優しさに甘えてばっかりだといけません。
そんなことないよ。
Yeah.
それにもう決めたのです。
決めた？
Yeah, funny that the music stopped.
はい。
一体何を決めたの？
今の私には若月さんに恩返しはできません。けど私が本当の力を取り戻したら、そうしたら。
Yeah. That is really, really ugly. Actually, hang on a second, that's really unusual. This totally reminds me of Takuji, if anything. I suppose Zakuro was thinking that Takuji was somebody who... Oh, I suppose it was the curse of the Vanguard and Megiddo and stuff like that. They were the things that made it so that Takuji's memory of Zakuro and personalities as well had just totally changed and had made it so that Zakuro wasn't able to be remembered whatsoever, and I suppose her true power being regained is something that will ensure that she will be able to be binded with Takuji, because that Takuji will remain like the one. Well, he won't. The specialized physics bug within him will be lifted. Oh, well, that's actually really quite surprising to think about, the fact that Kotomi and Zakuro are like this. So I wonder if there's anything more to the relationship between Kotomi and Zakuro.
本当の力って何？高島さん、本当にどうしたの？
Totally, yeah.
高島さんじゃないような気がする。
I mean, who would have thought the really, really shy kid in class? Basically just me. I don't say a fucking word in class, to be honest. But, yeah, my god. Just somebody who barely ever says a word, somebody who's totally just absorbed in their own world, which I don't blame them. It's more interesting than the world around in class. But, yeah. Yeah, they are not only talking, but they're happy as well.
悩み事でもあるのなら私いくらでも聞くよ。
Yeah.
いいえ、悩みはありません。今の私に何の迷いもありませんからね。
Yeah, there's nothing bothering you because of the fact that you were using delusions in order to explain your reality. Actually, that's what I think based on Tsubahibi. I don't know that for a fact.
若月さんにはわからないかもしれませんが、今世界は滅亡の危機に瀕しているんです。
Yeah, this is... Oh, this is the beginning of the nightmare.
世界の滅亡？
でも安心してください。若月さんは私に優しくしてくれたから、私にいつも優しくしてくれたから、一番最初に助けてあげます。 それが私の恩返しなのです。
ちょっと何言ってるの？高島さん、何かあったの？話してくれないかな？何か嫌なことでもあったの？お願い。
Yeah, you're so nice, yeah. You just really, really respect people like Kotomi. You just feel so bad for people like Zakuro. It's properly ugly, this.
だって私たち友達じゃない。ちゃんと力になれるように頑張るからさ。
本当、若月さんは優しいんです。
Oh yeah, I like that,
その
yeah.
優しさ、いつまでも大事にしてください。
Yeah, just, if anything, Zakudo's totally in denial of the fact that anything's happening, and whenever Kotomi asks to reach out and to talk about what's wrong, she always just takes it and talks about, well, she always just uses it as an opportunity to talk about something else, and she doesn't address the issue at hand, really. Yeah, which is obviously something unspeakable. Or at least I'd assume. It is a little bit different because of the fact that the main person who organised the... Well, then again, I mean... I suppose in Tsubahibi, Tsubasa was the main person who... Well, I mean, it was all of Tsubasa's crowd, but I just feel like Tsubasa was the main person who made... Well, you know what happened to Zakuro possible. Fucking horrible people. It's just sick. Yeah, but anyway, there's no Tsubasa in this story because he's killed, so I wonder how it's changed.
だからそうじゃなくて。
Yeah, God, she's genuinely scared.
いいえ、大丈夫ですよ。本当、なんでもないんです。
Yeah. I just find it really interesting that even though she feels so happy, and she feels so happy, and yet at the same time that's just an indication of how damaged she is.
突然こんなことを言われてびっくりしたかもしれませんが、
本当に何でもない。
Yeah, exactly.
はい、もちろん。
そう。
What an odd interaction. No, she isn't. This is the worst thing. I mean, if I'm going to be honest, she was as kind as she possibly could in that conversation, and she did all she could. But the only thing is she made the grave mistake of maybe not looking into it more. Who knows? Could she have saved Zakuro? But then again, I mean, Usami and Ayumi do exist, so I do wonder if if Zakuro's so consumed in her delusions that maybe she won't listen. But then again, though, I mean, Kotomi could get emergency help for her. she could phone the right... Well, she could maybe phone the right people. I don't know. I don't necessarily know. I've kind of put myself into a loophole because it's kind of difficult for somebody to get help for something this serious within such a quick period of time. I don't know, would you involve the police? Or... No, you definitely would. But the only thing is, obviously, you have to know if somebody's going to commit suicide or if they're just going to do something that's really awful before doing that, I'd assume. Or you'd have to have some sort of very convincing proof. I don't know. But it must be... But what I'm just trying to say here, it would be very hard for her to actually get professional help within such a quick amount of time. And she needs it within a quick amount of time, because if she doesn't get it, she will suicide, and obviously the trauma will just make her lose herself. Yeah, it's a proper emergency. Yeah, but that's why she is so down. Oh, totally, yeah. Yeah.
ユキトが暴力沙汰を起こしてから
Yeah, no, totally. I don't blame him. And it's awful. I mean, he was a friend of Ozawa's for such a long time as well. So to have a fight that was as bad as that, just because of the fact that, obviously, he's gone down a really bad pathway, it must be awful. It really must be. And to get everybody in the school just constantly knowledgeable about your situation as well, that must suck. Yeah, no, and that is the thing a kind person would do. I mean, I understand that she feels she's more anxious than kind, but at the same time, I totally disagree. I mean, if anything, I think she's both. If she has a reasonable justification for being anxious, sure, she's anxious. I think she's very kind as well. Yeah, it's amazing. You care about other people, and you might make your own life harder, but it's all worth it if somebody else's life is better as a result of your effort. Oh, that's interesting. But still, I mean, you did something that you weren't necessarily comfortable with for another person. I mean, that's very, very kind.
だからなんだろうな。今日は誰と話しても会話が噛み合わなかったような感じがする。
But she's so genuine. It's not like she's putting up a front. No. Yeah, I can see that.
と言っても、やすこちゃんのあれは
Yeah.
噛み合わないというか。
Yeah, it's a good thing that she did that.
けど。
Oh, that's interesting that the kindness was born from selfishness. I can see that as opposed to selfish desire of keeping Yukito at the school and obviously keeping her best friend there. I can see that. It's still kindness nonetheless. I mean, I get that it was made from selfishness, but it is still kindness.
知ったことがだよ。神様がどう思おうが、私は私ができるように生きるしかないんだぞ。
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's such a nice mindset, that really is. Then again, it is susceptible to pressure, I suppose, because if there's pressure to improve, if you can't improve, that may affect just how you progress, really. god. I wonder if she's going to realise that Zakuro... Wait, hang on a second. No, I swear... Wait, when did she realise that... Did she actually see... No, she didn't. No. No. Hello, everybody. Yeah, okay, so... Yeah, she discovered it at school the next day. Zakuro has a very different voice as well.
いいえ、そんなことありません。若月さんは特別でした。
Oh, Kimika being salty. That is interesting. Yeah, I really do wonder how Zakudo's story is going to change. Yeah, God. You guys are students preparing for your exams. I am a student that has 2 fucking exams tomorrow. But then, no more exams for the rest of... well, November prep exams, I suppose, but... Apart from that... Wait, no, actually... No, I'm getting years confused. No, we have prep exams in January next, so yeah, no exams until next year. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Last 2 exams of the year. That's why I've not been able to do long sessions, because I've got to go to sleep early for these stupid fucking exams. Yep, I will allow myself to express my frustration as much as possible, because I fucking hate these exams. But who doesn't? I mean, they are made. Exams are a product of the devil, confirmed. There's no other way of talking about it. I find it really sweet and yet really sad at the same time that, I mean, Kotomi is someone who is so kind, and as you can see from something like this, Zakuro has been so influenced by Kotomi's kindness. Yukito is kind of like Kotomi in a way. I mean, Kotomi doesn't necessarily feel that she would have been able to be propelled in life if it wasn't for Yukito, but that's kind of the same for Zakuro and Kotomi. Zakuro feels that Kotomi is essential for her, I suppose, her life in general. It's just so sad. It's interesting that she does this at the end, though, it really is. Yeah, that's interesting. Just look at the indication, if you ask me, that of, I suppose, self-deprecation. Just the feeling that somebody is not deserving of someone else's kindness. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, unable. And then that's another indication of self-deprecation, if you ask me. You're unable to repay it just because of the fact that you, the physical limitation of yourself, makes it limited, makes it so that that can never be repaid. But then again, how is Zakuro gaining her true power going to pay Kotomi back for all that she has done for her? If anything, it's going to do quite the opposite, because it's going to lead into a traumatic event, if anything. But then again, I suppose after that traumatic event, she may connect with Yukito again, and in a way that they never have before. So I suppose, even though there have been loads of really sad things that have happened, she's been able to develop a relationship out of it, and maybe that's just like a indirect way of saying thanks. So I suppose you could think that, maybe. Yeah, you're so nice. Yeah. Yeah, there clearly is something bothering you. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Now, what I find very unusual about this is the fact that Zakuro wants to save Yukito as the first person. And I mean, obviously, I suppose Takuji, even in Tsubahime, the one that worshipped Zakuro, let's be honest here, he would never have been able to look into what Zakuro's true motives were for the suicide. But the thing is, I mean, it's ironic that this Takuji does entirely the opposite of what Zakuro would have wanted, which is obviously Kotomi to be tortured and to have a punishment befitting of her. Yeah, because Yasuko's jealous as fuck, which it makes sense. It does. I'm sorry, it just genuinely does now. But yeah, it's interesting that, because that hints at a potential that maybe Takuji never had a connection to Zakuro, and maybe there's something else that caused his delirium. Deliriousness. No, I prefer saying delirium. It's just interesting. You know somebody is dejected when they care this little about themselves. I like that. I really do, and it kind of reminds me of what was happening with her and Ayana in a way. Well, there's the phrase, if you don't love yourself, you can't love other people. Well, then again, that's not necessarily accurate. You could have you could love yourself and yet have a really low emotional intelligence, so maybe... Actually, I don't know. No, let's not go from what I was initially trying to say. She's obviously very emotionally intelligent, but she loves herself and she takes pride with... Well, she takes pride and she goes out of her way to achieve what she thinks is right. And as a result of that, she's nice to other people. She loves herself, so she loves others. I like that phrase. I'm just going to quickly read this and then go, by the way. Oh god, I don't blame her. I mean, it was very unusual what happened with Zakuro. Interesting. Reasonable, yeah. It's because you talked to Ayana, let's be honest here. And you're a bit stressed, so I don't blame her. Yeah, maybe.
Kotomi!
Oh, she really needed that. Oh wait, wait. So Yukito isn't actually here at the moment.
Kotomi!
Oh no, he is genuinely here. That's nice. Oh.
いやいや、そこまで大好きなわけではないんだよ。ただ少しばかり名前を呼んでほしいと思ったくらいでだよ。
ことみ、なんで気がつかないんだよ。
Oh my god, that's an
無
area.
視してるんだよ。
Jesus Christ, Yukito is tall. Wow. God, Yukito looks very similar to Takuji, ironically, but wow. I never thought we'd actually get a sprite for him. That's quite cool.
ユキト、本当にユキトが呼んでたんだ。
何バカなこと言ってるんだよ。走ったから走れ。お前は何をぼーっと歩い
Oh
てん
my
だよ。
god, that's hilarious.
ずーっと呼んでんのに気づかなかったのかよ。
ごめん。ちょっと考え事をしてたんだよ。
お前みたいな体育バカも物とか考えるのか？
Oh my god. That's evil.
言い方。私だって物は考えます。バカはバカなりに考え。
She's not an idiot though, no way.
冗談だよ。琴美がバカだとは思ってねえよ。ま、算数の成績は壊滅的だけどな。
算数じゃないです。数学です。
その違いぐらいはわかるのか？
わかりますともさ、バカはバカなりに分かっていることだってあるんです。
たく冗談なのに何をカリカリと。お前を追って走ってきたから喉乾いた。 悪い悪い、待たせたな。俺
Oh, that's nice.
これは
お前も部活で疲れてるんだろ。スポーツドリンクだ。
ありがとう。
なあ、
ユキと。
なんだ、聞こえないんだが。いって、
What?
何すんだよ。
いや結構痛いね。
なんで頭突きしてくるんだよ。
なんでだろう。
なんだそれ。普通に痛いのだが。
いいじゃん、痛いのはお互い様なんだし。
This is very unusual.
なんで痛いのがお互い様ならいいんだよ。
Seriously, yeah.
なんでだろうね。本当に痛かったね。
何言ってるんだよ。それで学校で何があった？
Yeah.
何見てるんだよ。
ユキと見てるんだけど、ダメだった？
別に構わねえよ。
Yeah, totally.
いつまで見てるんだよ。
いつまでもかな。
本当？何があったんだ？
何もないよ。たださ、もうすぐ地区予選だからナイーブになっているだけ。
そうか。
やすこちゃんも頑張っているし。
やすこって誰だ？
何回同じこと聞けば気が済むのかな。
で、誰？
同じクラスの清くんの妹だよ。
清の妹か。そういえばそんな話聞いたような。
話だけでなくて何度も会っているはずだけどな。
俺は人の顔を覚えるの苦手だからな。
苦手じゃ済まないって。
それでその後輩と何かあったのか？
いや、彼女はよくしてくれるよ。気を使うのすごくうまいし。
お前も大概だけどな。もう少し気軽に生きた方がいいんじゃねえのか？
そうだよね。それができればいいんだけどね。
まあ、そうやって悩みながらもみんなの前ではいつも明るく振る舞うお前は嫌いじゃないよ。俺は。
ありがとう。これが永遠に続いたらいいのにな。
永遠に家帰れなかったら死ぬわ。
それもそっか。こういうのは永遠じゃないから価値があるのかもね。
お
なんて顔で人を見てるのかな。
いや、 琴美の口からそんな素敵な言葉を聞くとは。
そうかもね。
反論なしかよ。
Oh, okay, so that was the 13th. Jesus Christ.
まあいつものことだけど、ユキとはまだ寝てるな。
Oh well, that's going to be everything that we're going to be doing tonight. Yeah, I'll read that dialogue again tomorrow a bit more. We'll look into it. That was really sweet, the ending there, and I liked today. It was interesting just seeing more in general about Kotomi's character and the distance as well. It's actually something that I never really thought about, but I was just like that. That's one of the main reasons why I enjoy reading visual novels, because you get to see so many different lives from so many different perspectives of people that I've personally never really had the opportunity to meet in real life. So it's just really nice that you can see people like this, and it just felt really normal today. Obviously, we had a few events that were very weird and ambiguous, i.e. the event with Ayana and all of the conversation about reality that we had with her. I suppose Zakuro as well, but yeah, I just think it's really valuable in some stories, and I think this is a good example of just showing what is normal and showing I suppose just showing everyday goings on, and then obviously showing how those everyday goings on are going to be snatched from us, and why that is then going to cause them to be so much more special, like Kotomi always says. I'm excited for tomorrow. This is quite fun. See you guys then.